Warren Buffett is worth over $100 billion. He still lives in the house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. He still drives an ordinary car. He still eats breakfast at McDonald's even though he could technically afford anything he ever wanted. He just doesn't. And that's what people get wrong. The wealthy don't get rich and then start cutting back. They get rich because they never fell into these 8 traps in the first place. I'm DC Roth from the Bureau. Over the last few years, we've educated more than 3 million people on finance. And today, I'll show you 8 things wealthy people refuse to waste money on. They still spend. They just don't spend like everyone else. But we're not stopping there. I'm also going to put an exact number on what these habits cost you. And for most people watching, that figure is big enough to retire on. Number 1. Designer wear bought to look successful. Most people see the logos and assume that's what success wears. But walk into a room full of genuinely wealthy people, and the richest one in there is most likely wearing a plain t-shirt. Take Mark Cuban. He's worth around $6 billion and he walks into meetings in a t-shirt and jeans. When a fellow investor asked him why he dresses like a slob, his answer was, because I can. And that's the part that matters. A $200 shirt and a $20 shirt do the exact same thing. The only real difference is the logo. And that logo is you paying for someone else's advertising. And to make matters worse, fashion has a shelf life. That label you overpay for this year is dated by the next year, so you've bought something that loses value the moment the season turns. Dress to impress is a thing, sure, but that comes down to taste, not price. And if you think wasting money on designer wear is expensive, the next mistake costs people tens of thousands more. Number 2, a brand new car fresh off the lot. This mistake is probably the fastest way to destroy 5 figures without even realizing. The moment you drive a new car off the lot, its value drops. Roughly 20% of it is gone inside the first year. You feel great for about a week, but then the payments and the depreciation go to work. And it isn't just the purchasing price. Insurance, registration, repairs, servicing, all of it scales with the value of the car. So the expensive one keeps reaching into your pocket long after you've driven it home. Look at Christian Bale, Oscar winner, once the highest paid actor in the world, worth around $120 million. His daily driver is a 2003 Toyota truck, and he bought it used, a pickup truck that's over 20 years old. Bale has been teased about it for years, but he refuses to get rid of it. And when he gets asked why, his answer is always the same. It's practical, I love it, and all my friends need it for moving stuff. And that's the mindset. The wealthy mostly buy used or certified pre-owned. They let the first owner eat the depreciation, pay far less for the same car, and keep their money invested. But compared to the next one, a bad car purchase is just a one-time mistake. Number 3, the newest phone, smartwatch, laptop, or gadget just to keep up. This is where companies have become incredibly good at making us pay for improvements we barely even notice. Walk into any store and the message is always the same. It's the latest and greatest gadget ever. This new phone is going to improve your life. It'll change how you see the world. It has the best camera ever, and it now has 2.5 days of battery life. And these days, you don't even feel the money leave because the phone gets split into 24 monthly payments that sit on your bill like a subscription you forgot about. And once you finally paid it off, a message lands offering a free upgrade. So now you've got the newest phone, the best camera, a little more battery life all over again. And the whole thing resets for another 2 years. And here's the math, which is nuts. A flagship phone costs around $1,200. Upgrade every 2 years, and that's $600 a year, $6,000 a decade on a device that basically does the same things your last one did. And $6,000 doesn't sound life-changing until you realize that's just one subscription. Most people have 10 of these. And now we get to the cheekiest leak. Number 4, the constant small splurges on going out. Now, this isn't the biggest purchase on the list, but it is the most invisible. A couple of rounds of drinks on a Friday, $50. Last-minute concert tickets because you didn't plan ahead, $80. A quick date, $45, or a spontaneous weekend trip, $300. Now, none of that felt like a big decision, but that's $475 in 9 days, and you'd swear you barely went out. The problem isn't one expensive night, it's 50 forgettable ones. And listen, nobody's telling you to stop having fun, but start paying in cash when you go out and you will feel every note leaving your hand. It's physically painful. Then add up everything you spent going out last month, the real number, drinks, food, taxis, everything. Put a hard budget on it and you'll watch your balance shift inside a week. I guarantee it. And now to one of the biggest investment lies ever told. Number 5, a bigger house than you actually need. Now, this single decision costs more than anything else on the list. We're constantly taught by social media that a massive house means you've made it. And this is one of the most expensive lies ever. The mortgage is just the entry fee. After that come taxes, the upkeep, the furniture for rooms nobody sits in, and the heating bill for a space you walk through twice a week. Remember Buffett's house? Bought back in 1958 for $31,500, and he never left. He's worth over $150 billion today. He could literally buy any mansion on earth, and he chooses not to. That restraint is the entire point. Most people think a bigger house creates wealth, but the reality is the complete opposite. A $400,000 house isn't just a $400,000 decision. Property taxes, insurance, maintenance run roughly 3 to 4% of the home's value every single year. That's $12,000 to $16,000 per year, every year before you've paid a cent of the mortgage. You see, the wealthy borrow below what the bank offers. So if the bank approves them for $500,000, they buy at $350,000, and this gap stays in their pocket, working in assets where it actually grows. But most people do the exact opposite. They take the maximum loan the bank allows, call the house an investment, and then spend the next 30 years feeding it. Number 6. Get rich quick seminars and shady systems. The promise is always the same, right? Easy money, fast results, secret strategies, and somehow it's always everyone else getting rich. Everywhere you look, there's a slick ad promising you'll be rich by next month. The real estate seminar, the secret trading system, the one dropshipping method you can make millions on. Just last year, Americans reported losing over $7.9 billion to investment scams. That was the single biggest fraud category in the entire country, and a huge share of them start exactly how you'd expect. An ad or a post offering to teach you the secret to getting rich. The people selling shortcuts rarely use them. If they worked that well, they'd obviously keep them for themselves. Real wealth is strategy, consistency, and learning from people who've actually done the thing, not from people who only sell the dream of it. A book by someone with a real track record, or a course in a skill businesses already pay for, that's knowledge that compounds for years. Now let's talk about the expense everybody rolls their eyes at, but they keep buying it anyway. Number 7, daily takeout coffee and food delivery. Yes, you've heard this one before, but you've heard it because the math refuses to stop being true. $8 a day is almost $3,000 a year, gone on a habit you've forgotten by lunchtime. A treat now and then is fine. The problem is when the treat becomes the default, because then it drains your account day after day, week after week, without you ever really noticing it. Make your coffee at home, cook a few more meals than you order in. That's the difference between consuming and owning assets. Literally, one disappears, the other one compounds. And the final trap is the newest one on the list, which is exactly why so many people underestimate it. Number 8, splitting small purchases into payments. And this might be the most dangerous financial invention of the last decade because it doesn't feel dangerous at all. Remember that phone split into 24 payments? These days, it's not just phones, it's everything. You can literally use a loan to buy a burrito. Picture this, you're at the checkout, just $60, and a little button offers to break it into 4 easy payments of $15. You think, no interest? Sure, why not? So you tap it. Then you do it again on the next thing and the next, and suddenly you've got 10 of these running at once. And here's what that button is actually for. It isn't there to help you afford things, its only job is to reduce the sting of paying and boost the fun of buying, because the moment those two come apart, you spend more. And this is measured when researchers tracked 275,000 purchases, the ones split into payments came out about 10% bigger. The goal was never to make things affordable, the goal was always to make spending feel painless. So here's the number I promised you, and I'm not even going to use all 8. Forget the house, forget the car, forget the designer labels, I'll only need 3 of the smaller ones. The gadgets, the weekends out, the daily coffee and delivery, that's around $6,000 a year. Now here's what nobody shows you. Take that same $6,000 and instead of spending it, you drop it into a simple S&P index fund at the 7% the market has historically averaged. Leave it there for 40 years, the length of a single working career from your first real job to the day you retire. That $6,000 a year becomes more than $1.1 million. And that's just 3 habits. If we took all 8, that number climbs past $6 million. So you're not one lottery ticket away from being a millionaire, you just have to stop repeating a few bad habits. Broke people spend to look rich, wealthy people protect the money that makes them rich. That's the entire difference, and it has almost nothing to do with the size of your salary. So here's the challenge. Pick one thing from this list and cut it out for the next 30 days. Just one. You'll be surprised by how much more stays in your account. And if you want to know exactly what your net worth should be by age, check out our video on this topic right over here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.